Hello friends, I'm coming with a series of projects. So in our first series, or I can say in our first project, the name of the first project is Enrichment. We will use this Scala concept, and because since my studies, I have been using these programming languages like C, C++, Java, J2EE and all. But for last 4 years, I have been using this Scala programming language, and really it's very powerful just because of it gives you flexibility to use in other. You can use object oriented or functional way of programming. So either way you can use that. But in this project, we are using very simple concept of Scala, and so what my plan is, I'm coming with series of projects. So starting with very basic, and in coming videos, I will come and will add something. Then we will add again something, and we'll end up with a very complex or very good project. So in this enrichment project, we will use a Scala concept. We will use a case class. So we'll see why we are using case class, and then we will try to transform that data by using all these concepts. So transformation, if you see ETL pipeline, so there is a T. So T means transformation. Transformation means either you join your data or you can add on something, or you can enrich those data. So all these things, all these terms are called transformation. So here in this project, in the first part, we are having three text files like trip, route and calendar. So all these are the text files and data. They have data in that. So first step will be, we will enrich trip and route, and we'll get some intermediate data, and then we will enrich this intermediate data with calendar text file, and then we will get enriched final result, that is enriched trip in CSV format. So in our task is, we will download our data set, we will push those data into case classes, because case classes, Scala gives a very good flexibility with case class. Once you have your data into case class, then you can perform n number of operation on that, because it gives you flexibility to treat it as a collection, list, map, in any form. You can transform this if you have your data into case class. So we will push our data, this trip class, this route class and this calendar class. We will push in our first step, we will push into case class, and then we will enrich trip and route. We'll get intermediate data, and then we will enrich intermediate data with calendar, and we'll get final result, and we'll save that final result into CSV format. So this is the task we are going to perform. So let me share my screen, and first we will download our data sets. So let's see that. So we are just going to copy this URL. This is the URL I have given in my blog, written on medium.com. So from there also you can get that URL, and just paste it in new tab, and required data set is available here in this site. So we are going to use this data set. Yes, so just we will download this data set. So the link which I have given on Medium, the same link I will be giving in my GitHub account. So either of the way you can get your dataset link. Yes, so either you visit in Medium account, Medium blog, or you can visit my GitHub account. So just copy this. So what I will do, I will upload this data set, required data set in my account itself. So from that GitHub account also you can get this data set. No need to visit any other site. So just I am downloading this data set. Yes. So if you once it gets downloaded, you will see there are many text files. So here for this project, we will use only three text files. One is trips.txt, second one is calendar.txt, and third one is root.txt. And other text files will be used in coming projects because it's a series of projects. So we will use all other text files in coming projects. So that is why it is better to subscribe this channel so that you can get a update, regular update on that. Yeah. So just it is downloading. So it's got downloaded now. So let me open it. Yeah, extracting it. So once you extract it, you will see there are many files. There are many text files actually. So we need trips.txt, calendar.txt, and root.txt. So just I am opening it. Yeah, my favorite text editor is Sublime Text. So I'm just searching for it because it's a very easy and very user friendly. I mean, it's good for eyes, so that's why I use it. Yeah. So this is trips.txt. Now let me open calendar.txt in same editor. Yes. And now I'm going to open third text file, that is roots.txt. Yeah. Yes, roots.txt. So these are the column names. Remember it. These are the column names. This first row, line number one. Now it is line number two. So these are the column names. And from line number six, these all are the data. And all data is separated with comma. Yes. The same is in roots, calendar. Yeah. So line number one is column name. These are the column names. And from line number 4, these all are the data against each and every column. The story is same in roots also. So just let me do Control Z. Yeah. So see this selected column names. I've selected these column names for you, but I don't think it is very visible to you. So the first column is root ID, service ID, trip ID, trip head sign, trip head sign, direction ID. So these are the column names for trips. Okay, let me take the screenshot. Now I have taken a screenshot. I'm going to explain this. So remember always. So the line number one is column names. We need that column names, and from line number 4 it is data. The space I have given just for demo purpose, just to show you, just to distinguish between rows and column names, data and column names, but this should not be given. So I will do Control Z and then I will process this data. We'll start programming. So this underline, I have underlined it. So these column names I have underlined it. So these column names we will use in creating classes. So these column names are very important. And so this one is for first file. If you see, this one is our first file. This one is our second file. Let me name it. This one is our first file. This one is our second file, and this one is our third file. So trips, calendar, and routes. These are our files. Got it? Yes. I hope you got it. So, so just let me check. I'm just opening my paint and brush whiteboard. Yeah. So for each and every text files, we are going to create case classes. So these are the column names. These column names will be taken and will be written as a field name for that case class. So let me write. So case class trip. So under case class, these are the column names. So let me write as a field name for this class. There are numerous benefits of writing case classes. So for pushing data, for storing data in a Scala, we always write case classes. So this is our thumb rule. Whenever we need to store data, these kind of data from data set, we need to create case classes. We now, after creating case class, we will just push our data into that class, and case classes had n number of features. Yeah, so this is for trip. Now I'm going to create case class for calendar. So all the calendar column names will be taken as a field name. Yeah, so field's name I have given, and third one is case class root. Yeah, so whatever column names over there, we will take it as a field names. Yeah, whatever it is, just will copy and paste it. All the column names will be pasted as a field names with proper, definitely with proper data type. So now let me open my IntelliJ, and I'm going to create one new project. Next, so here Scala SBT, and project name will be, say, enrichment demo 1, enrichment demo 1. Yeah. So let it open in new window. It is doing some process. Yeah. So see, SBT is doing all the stuffs for us, and it has done. It has completed. Green mark is there. So let me open this project structure. So the first file we need to see is SBT. We will open our SBT, and we'll see whether it is showing green mark or not. Green mark is very important because it shows the health of your project, it shows the health of your file. So we always inclined to see this green mark. So here if you see under sync tab, green mark is there. So source name. So here you can put your Scala classes build.sbt. So build.sbt is showing green mark. So it's good. Now let me write one package for case classes as we have written in our whiteboard. So for putting all those case classes, I have created one package, and under that package we will create case class. So let's start with the writing calendar. So calendar case class. So yeah, file, because it is not showing any Scala class like Java class it is showing on the top, but it is not showing any Scala class. So we will create we will go with this file, name it any, we'll give the extension, and then we will set up SDK. That is why it was not showing any Scala file. Yeah, now it will show. If we let me delete it. Yeah, now if I right click, and yeah, here it is a Scala class. So calendar, and this is a case class. This should be a case class. So because remember, always remember, all the data should be pushed into case class, those data. So these are the field names, and these field names are same as the column names of this calendar text file. And for safe purpose, for our safer side, we have given this data type string. All the fields data type is string. We have taken it as a string for a safer side. For a root, we will do the same. Scala root. Yes, we'll copy it, paste it. The same code I will share on this GitHub link in my GitHub repository. So all codes you can find from there. So trip also. Yeah. Roots also, trip root. So these are the three case classes, and this is the trip root case class. I will explain it later why it is needed. So I will explain it. Just hold on that. In this trip also. So two classes, case classes we have written extra. I will explain it why. But you should know why we have written calendar class, root class, and trip class. These three classes. Other two classes I will explain later. Yeah. So now let me explain the business logic. So this is the trip file given in your data set or in your project. Another file has been given is root. These are the two files, and from trip and root you need to do enrichment. This is the T, transformation in ETL. On the basis of root ID, you are going to join these two data, trip txt data and root.txt data on the basis of root ID. Joining means enrichment. Enrichment is the T in ETL, extraction, transformation and loading. So we are doing here transformation. So we are transforming our data, trip and root data, and after transforming, the joint data is called trip root data. On the basis of root ID, it has been joined, enriched. And with trip root, we will join this trip root data with calendar data on the basis of service ID. So let me write that. So calendar. So calendar is the file given in dataset, and trip root is the data, is a file which we have generated. Intermediate data, you can say it. Yeah. So trip root and calendar will be joined on the basis of service ID. Yeah. And these two will produce another data that will be called enriched trip. Yeah. So this is going to be your final result as per the business logic, as per this project. So trip and root. So what we did in our first step. So step 0, in step 0, we have done, we have taken our data set. Data set is trip.txt. Another one is roots, root.txt. Yeah, wherever I write root, it means roots. Trip means trips. Calendar.txt. Yeah. So in step 0, we have taken our data set. In step 1, we will push this data to our case class. Case class is in file trip.scala. This is the file name, which is a case class. So root.txt has been pushed into root.scala class. Calendar.txt has been pushed into calendar.scala, and these are the case classes. This one is also case class, and this one is also a case class. This would be our step 1. In step 2, what we will do? We will write a function under a class. So class name is class root search, you can say, because you need to, you have this trip root ID. So on the basis of trip root ID, you will search the same row in root file with the root id of trip. So we will pass this root id of trip and we will search root id of root in root file or root case class. So the argument will be root, and this is the list of root case class. And that is why we have taken case classes, because we can push our data in that class and treat it as a collection. So here our root case class has been put into collection list. Now let me take one variable like search table, and this should be a data type of map, and map is in key and value. So key will be integer value and value would be the complete row of root. So it should be a root class. And now the roots variable, this variable holds all the rows of root. So let me put map function. Oh, so map function, map it, and take any variable like root. So this root will denote one row of roots, list of roots. So root, and take the ID of that. So root, take out the ID. So root ID, and root ID will be assigned to complete row of root. So root, yeah. And let me convert it into map, because here we have given map into root. Yeah. So let me color it. Yeah. So this root dot root ID is your key, and this root is your value. So green is the value, and yes, this one is also green, and red one is your key. So this one int is the data type of your key, and this root is a data type of your value root, which is a complete row. And this roots variable, same roots variable we are using, this root variable is here. Yes. Yeah. So this will be iterated, because we are putting this map function. So this will be iterated for each and every row of the root, because your roots is a list of root. So iterate, this will iterate for each row of roots. That's all. This will be iterated for each and every row. Now our key value is there. We have generated, we have converted our root file into root case class. We have pushed our root data into root case class and written one class root search, and in root search we have bifurcated our data into two parts, that is key and value. So key is root ID and value is the complete row that also contains root ID, service ID, all the row. One row is denoted by a single key that is called root ID. Now this is the simple variable we have written here. Now let me write one function, and that function is def. We will call this function, and in this function we will use this search table variable. So this function takes root ID as an argument. If you give it root ID, it will give you the complete row corresponding to that root ID. Complete row. So the data type will be root, and we'll use this search table. Search table. It is adding. Let me put one demarcation. Yeah. So search table dot get or else. Root ID. So this search table has all the key and value. So if we put root ID, it will give us the complete row because it contains key and value pair. So if we give the key, it will give us value. Yeah, that's it. So key and value pair, that is why we have converted into that key and value.